Chapter 8: The Triple Echo and the Foolproof Trace. The moment that highly classified FBI file was forced open by an unauthorized source, it tripped a hidden, hard-coded digital tripwire, causing anomalies to beep rigorously in two completely separate corners of the world. In Washington, D.C., inside the secure, dimly lit office of the FBI headquarters, a heavily encrypted black smartphone resting on Director William Vale's desk began to vibrate violently, emitting a low, rhythmic distress pulse. Will froze, lowering his glasses. He picked up the device, staring at the flashing red text on the secure screen. His breath caught in his throat. The file had been breached. Will stood up slowly, his face turning pale as the gravity of the situation sank in. "It's happened," he whispered to the empty room. "They found him." Thousands of miles away at the Rainier estate, the second alarm shattered the quiet afternoon. Luke was out in the sun, dressed in his stained servant's clothes, casually wiping down the open-top Jeep with a rug. Suddenly, a violent, high-priority haptic vibration pulsed against his belt, a rhythmic, frantic pattern he had never felt before. Luke's eyes went razor-sharp. He dropped the rug, bypassed the stables, and slipped into the hidden room of the barn, triggering the biometric wall. As the threshold hissed open, the command center was already awash in flashing amber warning lights. Chloe and Jared were hunched over the main holographic console, their faces tight with panic. "Luke, look at the master terminal," Chloe shouted, her fingers flying across the keys. An external, rogue server just accessed Marcus's sealed archival file. The query originated from a Syndicate network. Luke didn't panic. He stepped up to the holographic glass table, his fingers flying across the interface with military precision. "They needed a baseline to compare his file to," Luke said calmly. "They wouldn't risk striking without proof. If they queried his DNA, they had a fresh sample. Let's trace the upload packet." With 3 sharp swipes, Luke ran a reverse cyber forensic trace on the Syndicate's server. Because the Syndicate had to upload the twins' stolen genetic data into their sequencer, the data packet left a digital footprint. "I've got the source IP of the upload," Jared stated, pulling up a map. It originated from an encrypted terminal inside a private medical lab in Seattle. "But look at the raw data timestamp. The genetic sequencing file was compiled 3 hours ago." "Trace the source of that genetic file," Luke commanded, his voice cold and calculating. "Where was the physical sample digitized?" The screen flickered, processing the metadata of the Syndicate's data stream. A satellite map zoomed in aggressively, bypassing state lines, narrowing down directly onto a specific building, the Advanced Science Department at the Twins University. "The university chemistry lab," Luke murmured, his eyes narrowing as the final pieces of the puzzle locked into place. "They couldn't get past our estate fence, so they targeted the girl's blind spot." "Chloe, pull up the archived internal security feed from the college chemistry lab during the Twins session yesterday. Cross-reference it with our bird drone aerial logs outside the campus." Within seconds, the holographic screen split. On the left, one of Luke's bird drones disguised as a hawk captured a high-definition shot of an unassuming college lab assistant walking out the back door of the university campus, holding a temperature-controlled diplomatic biohazard pouch. On the right, the internal lab camera showed the exact same assistant covertly bagging Clara and Vivienne's discarded glass puppets and hair strands from their workstation the moment they stepped away. "The lab assistant is a Syndicate mole," Luke declared, his posture turning completely rigid. The harmless servant was gone, the elite commander stood in his place. "They didn't just guess. They have absolute genetic proof. Lock down all systems. Activate the K9 protocols. The storm is on its way."